Welcome back to my channel, Poetry and Police. I am ex-Detective Corporal EVON Blake, a very experienced detective. I've served the Jamaica Constabulary Force for 22 years. But before I go any further, before I get into the meat of what I have to say today, please don't forget to click that subscription button. Remember, it does not cost you anything to subscribe to my channel. Jamaica is a criminal paradise, a criminal state, a haven for organized crime stemming from the upper echelons of government and the police department. The question is, can Jamaica's crime and criminal enterprises be stopped? The answer to this, it certainly can, but only if the corruption that now exists in the heart of Jamaican politics and policing are erased. This is what is going on in the police department. Police officers are always involved in organized crime of any sort, whether it be drug dealing, whether it be racketeering, whether it be murders, shootings, robberies, burglaries. A police officer is always involved. Always, I'm telling you that. Because none of these criminal activities can ever go or prosper without the help of politicians, senior members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, or members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force on a whole. And this is why I'm saying this. A man is locked up. People are in jail. For example, I worked at Hunts Bay Police Station. And men are locked up in the Hunts Bay Police Station. But yet, these men are armed with knives. These men have phones. I remember one time I saw videos being shown on public media inside the Hunts Bay Police Station cell. How did these men get these phones? Because you see, police officers who work the cells, criminal police officers who work the cells, are giving these boys contrabands, are giving these boys weapons that can attack even other members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. A policeman can be killed in a jail with a knife that was given to a criminal by another police officer. This is what happens in Jamaica. Every criminal activity that goes on, even in the lockups, police are involved. And see, most of the times these thieving police officers, these criminal police officers, they don't care about other police officers' lives. All they care about is that they are getting a little piece of money. Well, what would they say? Call it a piece of the food. By giving these men contrabands in the cells and everything that they want in the cells, because they are benefiting from whatever activities that are being taking place in the cells. And I'm going to give you an example of a perfect police officers sidelining investigations and sidelining the rule of law. When I was stationed at Constant Spring Police Station back in 2004, I remember one time this gentleman came to the station and reported a case of fraud, that somebody stole his credit card and was using his credit card all over Halfway Tree in a number of different stores. He made a report to me. He gave me his bank statements, which showed me every store that his credit card was used in. And this man was not even Jamaican, he was an Australian national, but he was working in Jamaica with a big company. So he made a report to me. I took his report and started my investigation. Now, as a result of the information that he gave to me in this case, I went to maybe 10 to 15 different stores, clothing stores, jewelry stores, you name it, in the Halfway Tree general shopping area. And most of these stores, maybe 10 of these stores, they had records of the transaction, they had videos of the transaction, and able to get the videos and watch the videos and saw the suspect. A few of these stores, they never had any video surveillance in the store, but they remembered who used the card and they could identify the man, but because they had given me a description of the suspect who used the particular credit card. So let me cut a long story short. The investigation led me to the arrest of a man in some place in the Constant Spring area. The man was arrested, was taken to the station. We went to the suspect's house on a warrant to search for items, particular items that were purchased from the stores in question. Many of these items were recovered that were on the list of the items purchased. I arrested this man, brought this man to the Constant Spring police station. I did not lay any charges against this man because I placed him in custody for identification parade in relation to some of the purchases that he had done, and even identification for the complainant who made a report that who he came in contact with when his card was stolen. The man was placed into custody. I can remember the following day I was transferred to the Seaview Gardens police station. The man was left in custody. I had my statement on file, I had warrants on that file. And this man was in custody for identification parade. I was contacted by another detective from the station who told me that the man confessed to committing the offenses. So therefore, he had an attorney by the name of Trilly Williams, and they were going to collect a caution statement from this man, seeing that he had confessed to committing the theft of the card and making all the purchases. I said, go ahead. The next day I returned to the Constant Spring police station. The suspect were not in custody anymore. How this man was bailed. There was no court date on the bail bond either. I went to court the following day in a different matter. And while I was in court, I heard my name called in the courthouse for Court 2, Detective Corporal Blake. I said, I don't have any court in Court 2 today. But anyway, I went in the court. When I went inside the court, my suspect, who was supposed to be in custody pending an identification parade, was standing in court. Now, this is the worst part. The man was bailed, yet the man was not charged. And you would ask the question, how can a man be up for bail when he was not charged for any offenses whatsoever? That is the question. This man was before the court. There was no file before the court. I did not send this man before the court. This man was not even charged. I explained the situation to the judge, and the man was placed back in custody for the identification parades. I left this man at the police station in Constant Spring. Again, wrote a diary entry and left him there for identification parade, which was in 3 days. I went back to the Seaview Gardens police station. The other day, the following day, I went back to the Constant Spring police station to check on the prisoner again, only to find out that the prisoner was not in custody anymore. The prisoner was released from custody, and there was an entry written in the station diary by, I don't even know who it was, because there was no name in the diary of the person who released this man from custody. In the prisoner charge and property register, it states that they saw no reason for this man to be in custody, hence he was released, and he was signed by some kind of inspector, but there was no name and there was no regulation number to tell me which particular inspector had released this man from custody. Are you listening to me? I took a team. I went back to the house. I arrested this man again, people. Brought him back to the Constant Spring police station again. The day of the identification parade, which was the following day, when I went back to Constant Spring police station, this man was not in custody again. The man was released from custody again. Not in custody. Luckily, I had the file in my possession because I had brought the file to Seaview Gardens police station with me. So this man was released from custody 3 times by police officers. Police officers trying to sideline my investigations. And my investigation led me to believe that this man had some politician link, some politician in his corner. That's what I got to find out. So this man was at large. I went back to his house again. He was never seen. So he was now in hiding. About 4 weeks later, I received a letter from the Public Complaints Department stating that I assaulted this man and I was harassing this man. Went in person to the complaints division. I spoke to a senior officer there. I told him that this man, I have warrants for the arrest of this man, and they need to contact this man and let him report to the police station immediately, or they need to give me the location of this man where I can find this man. Weeks pass, nothing. Then I receive another letter from the complaints department stating that all the allegations against me have been dropped, that the case was closed and they were no longer investigating the case. From that time till now, I have not seen that man again. I went to the Constant Spring police station and all the items that were recovered from this man that were placed into safekeeping at the police station were missing. Now, the complainant in the case, he contacted me, very upset, saying that I was unprofessional and the man was in custody and I released the man. I tried to explain to him what had happened, but he would never accept my explanation for the whole thing. He threatened to report me to the Commissioner of Police in a bid for me to lose my job for being corrupt. So people, this case is a perfect example of how fellow police officers will destroy your investigation for money, will destroy your investigation for the friends that they have in high places. Because this man, based off of my investigation, was aligned to some politician, and that is the reason why they did all of that. Sabotage the investigation, release this man from custody whenever this man was charged. So it would appear to me that even if this man was charged for a firearm, they would have released him same way. They would have released him and he would have probably left the island, or he could have probably went into hiding. So they would have perverted the course of justice, and this was all in the hands of police officers, because that man could not release himself. He would have had to be released by police officers, and that was done. So these are some of the situations that causes Jamaica to be so crime infested, because criminals have links with police officers at various stations and links with politicians at various levels, and they will sabotage your investigation. They will even throw out your investigations. They will even cause you to be transferred from your division to somewhere else, because that was done to me already based off an investigation that I was carried out, and I was not taking any talk from anybody in relation to this boy that I held with a firearm. I was transferred to flying squad behind the commissioner's back. I remember that Lucius was commissioner at the time. When I called him and I explained what was happening to him, he said to me, "Stay where you are." Not even the commissioner of police knew about my transfer. So these are the things will happen when you are a good police officer trying to carry out your duties without favor or affection. Other police officers are collecting money. They are selling you a case. They're selling a case that is not even theirs. And they will even kill you for that because of money thing. So that's how Jamaica works. That's why Jamaica will never be crime free, because we have corrupt police officers in the system who are being corrupted by external forces. These are the things happening on a daily basis. And I know that I am not the only police that this has happened to. It has happened to other police officers. Their case was railroaded, sidelined. erased from the books, prisoner released, properties gone. That happened to me, and I know it must have happened to other police officers. That's a perfect example of corruption at the highest level in Jamaica. That's why Jamaica can never be crime-free until these kind of behaviors are cut from the neck down. The good police officers in Jamaica Constable Force, it is time that we start to ring the bells, point out the criminals, get rid of the criminals, because guess what? They are the ones making Jamaica a worse place. They are the ones making the police department getting a whole lot of blame of being corrupted. Because the Jamaica Constabulary Force is not corrupt. It's just a few leaders and a few between the rank of constable to probably inspector are corrupt, just a few. So one bad apple spoiled the whole bunch, and that is what is happening to the Jamaica Constabulary Force. I have said this in most of my videos, that Jamaica Constabulary Force is a stalwart of an organization. That organization had made me into a man. That organization has allowed me to serve the people of Jamaica. Jamaica must return to the days when criminals are shown no mercy. There must not be allowed any avenue of operation nor comfort. Strict laws must be implemented, man, and enforced. Montague stated clearly that we must enforce hanging, as he so eloquently put it. Hang them till they are dead, dead, dead. Horace Shanks says shoot to kill them. I believe, criminals must fear law and order. They must fear and feel the wrath of their actions, which must be dealt with. Saving taxpayers' money. Even gun charges should carry the death penalty, as far as I'm concerned. It's simple. Abide by the rule of law or be ready to face your demise. Gun boy must not be comfortable in any country. Rapists must not be comfortable in any country. Murderers must not feel comfort in any country. They must be suppressed by the police 24/7, and when they are arrested for guns or for serious crimes, they must be put to death. They must be hanged or put on the firing squad. If you're charged for a gun, your whole intention of carrying a gun is to kill people, so you should be put on the gallows for that too, or given 100 years in prison for no return. But then again, why waste taxpayers' money in taking care of you in prison? You should be put to death. I believe in preemptive strikes against these boys. I believe that police must plan to take out these boys at any means necessary. And I believe that these human rights groups in Jamaica should be chased out of Jamaica, because all they are doing is support crime and criminals. Their sole intention is to disrupt Jamaica's socio-economic system and plunge Jamaica into an economic quicksand. That is all these human rights groups are doing. They do not care about policing. They do not care about the crime problem in Jamaica, especially Indica. They do not care. All they want is crime to prevail in Jamaica. What they want is hug gunmen. They want gunmen to prosper, so their friends can benefit from crime, from criminal activities on all avenues. So we need to sit down and plan and know that these people need to leave Jamaica. We need to find out a way for them to leave Jamaica. I don't see these human rights groups in America bothering the police when they kill anybody. And the shootings in America are far worse than the shootings in Jamaica. One police give man all 36 shots. They just pull him phone out time waste. You see any human rights group coming down on them? You see anything put in place to investigate the police same time? The police have, this is the thing is, in America, the police unions protect the police. They protect the police. What is our federation doing? We have nobody to protect the police in Jamaica. So as a result of this, any entity can be formed to attack the police and suppress the police. So now look around you. Look around you good. Every time one of these boys are charged, them have the best attorney. They can't even wear good clothes. More time you see boy run up and down out the road in a barefoot with them 16 rifle. One time a police tell me, and which is true, I found out that to be true. The worst person with a gun is a low life running around with a M16 rifle, or a low life running around with a gun in his hand. Guess what? He doesn't care about the people of the country. He doesn't care about his family. He doesn't care about people's family. He doesn't care about anything. He's just loose, trying to prove himself, trying to be a Don by killing people and taking them 3 points, as what them call it nowadays. That is how Jamaica is. Have you noticed on social media these days? Back in the day, no gunman would ever do a video showing himself with gun and posing off gun. And now every day when you look at this on the social media, these boys are exhibiting guns and showing off at parties with illegal firearms, from handguns to rifle. No, open your eyes. Every time the police kill somebody or police are involved in a fatal shooting, the citizens of that community, most of the times they are forced to come forward. They demonstrate on the street, block the street, burn the tires and mess up the road to saying that the man had no weapon. But no, I hope the people of Jamaica are looking out of their eyes. Watch these videos on social media. What do you see? These men have guns. These men have guns more than they have food. But yet, whenever the police gun down one of these men in a shootout, you hear that they did not have any gun and they're an innocent boy and all of these things, when they are on social media showing guns. They're showing their violence on social media. They're showing how resilient they are. They're showing how free they are to do whatever they want to do in Jamaica and get away with it. And that is the lifestyle of these criminals in Jamaica. They wear the best clothes, they go to the best parties, they party night and day, then they get up, kill innocent people, rob innocent people, and get away with it scotch-free. Because in any community in Jamaica, most of these people are good, law-abiding citizens, but yet they let a small percentage of the community who are gunmen control the whole community, because people are in fear. And this is why people are in fear too, because people cannot trust the police. The good people in the community cannot trust the politicians either, because they know what is going on in the community. Because nothing stay ground. Everything them boy do them talk, because they like to show off. They kill a police, they show off. They kill somebody, they show off, because they want their name to get out there. They want to be seen. Everybody want to go on social media and say, oh, me a bad man, me a Don, me run things, me kill anybody, me rob anybody, and me can't go to prison. Now back to the lawyer situation. Oh, we have been observing. These boys get the best attorneys. And in most cases, when you look around, if a guy is from say a JLP area, then the lawyer defending him is most likely going to be a JLP lawyer. Look at the thing, because that service is most of the time free. You see, the thing is, this is the contrary that is happening in Jamaica right now. These boys have proper representation from their political party. For whenever they get themselves in trouble, that this lawyer can take them out of trouble, and the right political links will even set them free without conviction. And on the other hand, you have no representation for police officers. None whatsoever. Police officers are charged. We have no attorney. We have to be on our own. We have to depend on our families to find attorney's fees for us. Police officers most of the time cannot even find a good attorney to defend them in court. While these boys, who does not hold a job, can afford the most expensive attorney. I want you to look at the levels. So that is the level that the Jamaican people is going through. That is the level that exists now with gunmen and police and the good law-abiding citizens of Jamaica. These gunmen has more rights than anybody else in Jamaica. These men have more representation than anybody else in Jamaica. Now, when you look at the thing, and you see that a gunman out there can get a better representation for himself than what a policeman can get, then we beg to ask the question, How can we survive as police officers in a country like Jamaica, where the police officers are not properly represented? We can't even afford a good attorney because our salary is crap. Our salary is crap. So how can we stop this crime problem in Jamaica? Now, stopping this crime problem in Jamaica is not going to take a squad to look for these boys. No. Stopping the crime problem in Jamaica will have to start from the top, from the political links of these men. So we have to get politicians who are beyond a shadow of a doubt honest to the thing and are willing to sacrifice themselves to save the Jamaican economy. And we need police officers that will do the same. So it will take dedication from both politicians and police officers to solve the crime problem in Jamaica.